And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another set of video game reviews. Yes, this is part two of my Super Mario Brothers comprehensive all in one reviews. Part two. Part one was about the original games on the NES Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3. This one is of the new Super Mario Bros. Stuff from the newer consoles. And here's all the games that I will be touching on and covering in this video. It might be a little bit longer because there are more. New Super Mario Bros. Wii slash DS. They're really all the same thing, just on different consoles. New Super Mario Bros. 2 on 3DS. And Super Mario 3D Land, which I also have on the 3DS. New Super Mario Bros. U and U Deluxe on the Wii U and Switch, respectively. New Super Luigi and also New Super Luigi U on the Wii U as well. So no, I'm not covering every single game. I'm not covering that has been made. Only the ones that I have, but I have enough to I think where these ones have a little bit more variety, a little bit more distinction. So I definitely think it will be good for a comprehensive review and such. And also I know Super Mario 3D Land might sound out of place here. I have as a pre-download. I got a pre-download on my 3DS, by the way. I got in a bundle for Christmas, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I don't know. I feel like it fits here. So let's get into it. So I do have some notes. The games, I think, do a really good job at revitalizing Super Mario. Because they had, of course, there's some stuff on the SNES. The N64, I talked about Mario 64 already. That was his own review. About that, and then of course Mario Sunshine was the big GameCube title. But going back to the new Super Mario Bros. Style helped introduce it to a new group of people, new clientele, and everything like that. So that was good. And I think they did a really good job of that, revitalizing it. You know, they weren't really that much different outside of new graphics and updated graphics, as well as additions of more characters that you can play as in the game, adding a little bit more of a multiplayer factor to it. But other than that, I mean, they're relatively the same. But, you know, they did a good enough job, and, you know, it's far enough apart from Mario 3 that it really. And I guess really anything from the SNES as well, because I kind of feel like the SNES games were kind of a mediator between what the NES had and what the N64 had. But it did a really good job of that. So, the controls are a lot easier to learn here. Things, you know, it's a newer game, so obviously things are going to be a little more responsive and whatnot. And they do a fine job with that. The jumps are very easy to learn. You got the speed running, and you can do the special jumps, and to get all sorts of stuff. There's nothing like that's extremely complicated here to figure out. Of course, you know, some stuff's going to be more challenging than others, and there's stuff that, you know, only certain items can go through. But, you know, and they expand on that later in some of the other games. But it's still pretty cool to figure out. And these that makes, and with the simple controls that are easy to figure out, it makes the games very fun to play, and it makes them playable for anyone. You could be 5, you could be 95. You could play these. I mean, it's really not like you could do it. It's simple to figure out, and it makes it fun for families and to collaborate and have good times, family time and whatnot. And I think that's good stuff too. So I think they did a really good job with that. There's some small variations between games. Of course, New Super Mario Bros. DS slash Wii, you know, has its own thing, and then they get to New Super Mario Bros. U, and you have the ability to store items that you get in the game, and you can use them later on. That's a new function. You got the stuff with the baby Yoshis as well, and stuff like that. And then, you know, New Super Mario Bros. 2 and New Super, you got the focuses very much on coins and whatnot, as well as in the Super Luigi U, kind of the Year of Luigi version of Mario Bros. U. U Deluxe doesn't really have a whole massive amount of change, but you know, it's on the Switch now, so there you go. And then, of course, 3D Land takes what worked well in the Mario Bros. Games and brings it to brings it really into 3D, adding in a whole new set of platforms and level designs and whatnot, while also being a nice callback to some of the items that really were kind of had been gone up until that point. And you does that too with some new elements like the acorn and whatnot. So that's really cool. The callback to some of the older games. But the small variations in this game, you know, some of them are bigger than others. Like, you know, the 3D land changes to like 3D, higher up stuff, better level design. But even like New Super Mario Bros. For the Wii, outside of like the graphics changes and the multiplayer function, and maybe some better, and you know, there's not a huge, like not an astronomical difference between them and the original games. But it's enough to make it interesting. It's enough. There's still new stuff to figure out, and still new stuff to look at, and still new things to do. And it does a good enough job at that too. So, now in my opinion, I think Mario Bros. 2 on 3DS, the one with the coins, and New Super Luigi U, I don't think they were I don't think they were very necessary. New Super Mario Bros. 2, like, it's not very well known. It's not very remembered, at least compared to some of the other Mario Bros. Games. Like, I get it. You know, it was going out the high, and you want to get something on the 3DS, but it really didn't work. It's not a bad game by any means. It's just there. It's one of the games of all time. I guess you could say that. And Luigi U, like I said, this is the Year of Luigi version. It was really DLC on the original New Super Mario Bros. U. And then this one, and then it was being its own game, which I actually have the physical version. Other than the change with Mario Nabbit switching in for Mario and the name of the game, and maybe a few changes to some of the levels here and there, subtle changes at that, there really isn't much of a difference here. So, and they kind of feel unnecessary. They kind of just feel like, oh, beating a dead horse at this point. But I guess Nintendo's been kind of known for that lately, huh? All big corporations have been known for that lately, huh? Anyway, moving on. And like I said, they do a great job of catering to all ages. Fun for everybody to play. I think that was kind of the goal here. For anybody to play it. Hardcore gamers, you know, they might like the hardcore Mario fans, but also families that just want to play it casually. I think they get to do a good job of that too. So, but I think all of these games are fun on their own regard. And if you don't have any of these, I would recommend picking them up if you want. I know there's other games that I didn't put on this list, but maybe I'll get around to playing them eventually, and I'll do an updated compulsive review for all these games sometime again. Probably not, but maybe. And like I said before, I'm not going to be doing a final score for any of these because they're reviewing them together. I'm not going super in depth to each of these games because, again, like I just said, I don't think that's really necessary to go all in on each of these individually for their own videos. It's not really necessary. I wouldn't have enough to talk about. So there you go. But if you've played any of these games, though, that I mentioned in this video, or even in the last part, we want to talk about the last part of this, I'd love to know your thoughts about them in the comment section down below. So, and that's going to do it again for this video game review. Stay tuned for much more amazing content. I'll be back to the individual stuff with giving scores and whatnot in the next one, whatever that may be. I have no clue right now what that next one's going to be, but it will be. There will be more. Stay tuned. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.